Hello friends, now welcome back. We are going to talk about the wife's lament. It is an elegy, an Anglo-Saxon elegy, right? So before I start explaining this poem, I want you just to know that I'm a student, I'm an English language and literature student, and after I master this poem or any work, I love to share this work with you. So if other students watch this video, I hope that they write their ideas about this poem or other poems when they watch my videos in the comments, so we can just share our ideas. After I make my research and I attend the lecture, I try to share this information with you on my YouTube channel. So let's start now explaining this poem, The Wife's Lament. Well, as you know, just consider the other elegies that we have studied before: the Wanderer, the Seafarer, and now the Wife's Lament. Okay, and we are going to study also the Ruins. So please, when you study this poem, try to connect the ideas with the other poems, with the other elegies. You will find that all the elegies they have the same plot, okay? Anyway, let's start reading. I make this song of myself, deeply sorrowing my own life's journey. I am able to tell all the hardships I have suffered since I grew up, but new or old, never worse than now. Ever I suffer the torment of my exile. Again, she is on exile. It is really worse in the Anglo-Saxon times to be on exile. And look at the way the elegies start. The speaker here, obviously a woman, and she is saying that I can tell a story of myself, right? I can make a song of myself, and it is a lament, right? It is an elegy. So all the elegies start this way. Some person is telling his story, right? Is telling about his life and the suffer that he has experienced it. So, and we find also that most of them are on exile. First, my Lord left his people. Over the tumbling waves I worried adown, where on earth my leader of men might be. When I set out myself in my sorrow, a friendless exile, to find his retainers, that man's kinsmen began to think in secret that they would separate us, so we would live far apart in the world. Most miserably, and longing seized me. Well, first we know that this woman, right, she is deprived from her king or her husband. We don't know. It is really puzzling. It is very puzzling, poem that we cannot understand. Is this man her husband, or is he her king, or is she the wife of the king? So he is her husband and her king. We will not understand this when we read the rest of the poem. So she also she discovered that he has retainers, so I think he is a king, and the people tried to plot something bad about them to separate them. So, and she is longing for her husband or for her king. We don't know. As I said, it is really puzzling to understand. But what we need to understand is the idea of elegy, not just the person, because the person is I mean, we can understand the mental situation of a person while he explaining his psychological situation. It looks like he is intoxicated while speaking, because his speech is, it's not quite understood. My Lord commanded me to live here. She said here, but where? We don't know where. So, as I said, really hard to understand. I had few loved ones or loyal friends in this country, which causes me grief. So, she is living in this country, but we don't know which country, and she has few friends and, loyal friends. The people who she is living with, she does not love them, and it is worse than exile. It's a kind of exile. When she said exile, she might, live among people, but she hated these people. She does not love them. So it is also kind of exile. Then I found that my most fitting man was unfortunate. He is unfortunate. Her man, her king, we don't know, filled with grief. He is so sad, concealing his mind. He is losing his peace in mind, plotting murder with a smiling face. Well, is he going to kill her, or is he a good king who became evil king? We don't know. So often we swear that only death could ever divide us, nothing else. All that is changed now. It is now as if it had never been. So she has agreed with her husband that we are lovers, and nothing can, set us apart from each other. But it changed, right? And now he is far away from her, and she is longing for her husband or her king. And it has never been like this. It is now, that's the worst time in her life. Our friendship far and near, I must endure the hatred of my dearest one. Well, he hates her, and she wanted to endure that. Maybe someone made magic, so her husband left her, and now maybe he got married with another woman, and she is alone. Again, we can't understand it. It's really puzzling. They forced me to live in a forest grove under an oak tree in an earthen cave. The oak tree. Normally in Shakespeare's works, we find that oak tree foreshadow a woman's death. So, yeah, when we see the word oak tree, these two words, we also can understand that there is a woman who is having a bad time, as I have read. I mentioned that in Shakespeare's works. Yes, here. This earth hole is old, and I ache with longing. The dales are dark, the hills too high, harsh hedges overhung with briars, a home without joy. Here my lord's leaving often fiercely seized me. So she really longs for her husband. Yes. May the young man always be sad-minded, with hard heart thoughts, yet let him have a smiling face, along with his heartache, a crowd of constant sorrows. So it's like she loves him, and she wishes him good times, although he hated her. Woe to the one who must wait with longing for a loved one. it is also, the elegies end in this way, an advising tone, right? She is drawing a lesson for lovers. She is saying that it is really hard for lovers to wait for those, you know, who, for example, it's really hard for a woman to wait for her husband while she loves him so much, and it's also hard for the husband to wait for his beloved. So yeah, it's like this. That is the wife's lament. That's everything I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, anything else I have to consider? In line 35, yeah, I have jumped this line. It says that there are friends on earth, lovers living, who lie in their beds, while I walk alone in the first light of dawn, under the oak tree, and through this earth cave where I must sit the summer long day. There I can weep for all my exiles. Anyway, you see these lines, lovers living who lie in their beds. So if we remember, in the seafarer, he is also comparing his bad life to the life of people in towns, right? He said, I have a very bad time on the sea, and while people in towns, they are puffed with wine, they are, you know, having good times with their families and with women, while I am alone. And she envies others, right? It is a sense of envy to think of your miserable life and compare it with other people's life, and it really makes a person so gloomy and so sad when he think about the negative aspects of his life and compare them with the positive aspects of people's life. So yeah, there's a sense of being so jealous of others. Anyway, I will be ending this video here. If you have any questions regarding to the wife's lament, please write in comments, and I will strive to answer the question. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like the video, and goodbye.